Introduce yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, SG3. How y'all doing tonight?
And with that, let's get into the show. Alrighty, guys, a lot to talk about this week for wrestling. Let's start it off with All In 2026. We already know there's a lot of things going on.
Yep.
It's coming about. So far, the matches, it's not a prediction, but let's talk about a couple of matches. One is Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. That should be a good one. SG3, so far, what do you think? I kind of do think that this whole storyline, and if I'm going to be honest, it's been lackluster. It just doesn't seem like things are connecting. It just seems like they're trying to make Omega heel, but it's just not working out so right. And he's not technically heel. He's also not face. He's in the middle. Will Ospreay's the face. It just doesn't seem like they're really clicking in all cylinders. I don't know, man. Look, the match itself is going to be great. Storyline wise, I'm not too sure. What is your, prediction of all this? What do you think is going to happen next couple of weeks? Do you think we could get saved a little bit of the storyline before we get into All In?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be one of those matches where you're going to let just the matches do the talking for you. And I mean, we've had multiple matches in the past where the lackluster the build up to the match was lackluster, but then all of a sudden you watch the match and it's like, damn, what a badass match. And I feel like this is going to be one of those matches because, again, just the names on paper: Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, badass match. Can't wait to see it. I remember exactly what you're talking about, where Kenny Omega did the one winged angel on him after Will Ospreay saved him. So I see what you're talking about, like trying to make a heel. I feel personally it's like you should not have gone that route because Kenny's still a face. People still love him. So it's like, yeah, just let it. It's not bad to have a face versus face every so often.
I don't know, man. I'm honestly very against that just because there's a reason why. It's not always works out that great. In this instance, storyline, I don't think it's clicking. I'm not very interested. I'm interested in the match. Don't get me wrong.
I'm interested in the match.
I'm not interested in the storyline, not even one bit. We had Don Callis getting yesterday at Wednesday's Dynamite. Brought a little bit of the spice, but still doesn't seem lackluster. If Omega just tapped into the inner heel just for one bit, that 2020 COVID Omega that became double champ onto triple champ, onto taking over the industry like we never seen before from a company when he took over TNA and what was the other promotion? I think it was AAA even.
I thought it was, yeah. Didn't he become AAA champion too?
Yeah, before obviously AAA got bought out. But regardless, if we get that Kenny Omega, it'll be a little bit more interesting storyline. But like I said, I'm not all bought into this fact at all right now. I'm just kind of thinking it's lackluster. Look, the match itself is going to be great. Storyline wise, got 2 more weeks to go. And the reason why we're talking a lot about All In right now, too, is that we got Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. And we have heard rumors that supposedly Bailey on WWE's side is not happy with their booking. I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either.
In the last 2 years, her booking has been lackluster. I mean, besides her winning the Rumble
and the championship,
the 1 year, she hasn't done much besides get buried. Rumor has it she has hinted as well. She has put a lot of subliminal messages out there using the songs of All In, kind of giving us little messages here and there on Twitter that she might be eventually going to across the pond to AEW, joining her best friend, Mercedes Moné, which it could benefit her greatly because we already know Mercedes pretty much runs that company. She's not only the CEO of wrestling, but she's also the CEO of all elite wrestling. And with that being said, is there a high possibility that we could see Bailey? Mind you, her contract does expire in October. This is the biggest talk of the town. But from now all the way then, do you see things eventually turning a tide and getting her eventually an all elite, joining, side by side with their best friend Mercedes Moné?
I'll be honest. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet because she She has expressed her frustrations. She has went on multiple outlets and talked and had interviews. She said, "I don't like the way I'm being booked. I don't like what they're doing with me. I don't like what's going on. I'm a team player. I'm a WWE girl for life. But at the same time, though, if I'm not happy, just like anyone, if you're not happy where you work at, if you're not happy what you're doing with your job, you want to get out, regardless how much you love the company, regardless how much you love your craft. At the same time, if you're not happy where you are because you're not doing you right, and John Moxley said it best when he first got into AEW, you can write as many zeros as you want on the fat check, but if you're not happy, you're not going to stay there. And I feel like that's what's going on with Bayley. I feel like if they don't really, they have literally a month and a half to fix what they want with Bayley to make sure, like, hey, we can keep you. We can make sure the fact that you were catapulted to the top.
A month and a half, though, I don't think that's possible.
But they're not going to do it.
But even then, how can you fix this issue in a month and a half? That means, okay, in your eyes, though, how would you fix that issue? I guess you could say.
Stop her from being the stepping stool for everybody. Like, yes, Bayley is a great stepping stool for someone to put on the resume to build forward. But if you're having people keep constantly beating her, but then you don't do nothing with the person, it's like you're not even using her for the right reason, for the reason why she lost.
At the same time, I get that. I just don't think that in the month and a half that we have left, maybe it expires mid-October. I don't think there's enough time for it to justify what they did to her in the last year or so. Just because there's so much things to fix from there to there. You could give her a title, you could give her all she wants, but it's kind of too late, I feel like, in my eyes. I think that she's already on her way out. I would think she's a fool to think that if she stayed, things will get better for her. We just seen her get beat, basically, from Lyra, and rightfully so. I will put it this way. I think Lyra was the perfect person to go over Bayley.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just that we've seen everybody go over Bayley and Bayley. Bayley's just been the stepping stone of the company at this point. Bayley was one of the biggest women's wrestler during the company's peak of women's wrestling. I'm not sure what happened eventually, like why WWE did not see so much of her in the last year. And the last storyline she had with Lyra, she got written off. Kind of reminds me of Ricochet.
Yeah.
When he got beat up badly and basically gave him the option where they weren't sure he was going to resign. So I don't know if you know that, but he wasn't sure at the time that he was going to resign or resign with AEW. Obviously, we heard the heavy rumors during that time that he was going to sign with AEW, but WWE gave him the option like, look, if you leave, we're going to write you off this way. We're a possibility where you could come back and, eventually try to get revenge on Braun Strowman, which was never going to happen.
That was one breaker that hurt him.
Basically, you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And that's all he did. He just got his ass whooped. The same thing looks like Bayley. She got attacked. She got beat up badly. And it gave her the opportunity whether you're going to come back and pretty much revive this whole feud with Lyra right now that she has, the whole basically crazy homeless gimmick, which, to be honest, it's been great to see her in her promos, but she hasn't done much since then.
No.
Another issue is that when we have a high peak of a wrestler, WWE once again fails to follow up with it. If it ain't the bloodline, which we're going to talk about later tonight, they don't really care about you at this point. And there's only a few wrestlers that pop out from that exception. But once again, you have Lyra go over Bayley. This has been a long time in the making. And now that you had her go over, what has she done since then? She made a few appearances, cameos here and there, a few display of maybe we're going to start a feud here, but just nothing really has happened too much. By the way, we also have seen Bayley at house shows, so she's still working. But house shows, depending on how you see it, may count either in the current universe, and it may not. So what do you think of all this, SG3?
So, again, back to what I was saying, I feel like she's probably going to leave, but at the same time, though, I feel like she can stay if things do change.
But
and And
I don't think it's gonna change, though, man.
I can't see where she's just like,
but
you know
in
what?
a month and a half, though.
I can see her say, you know what, guys, I love you guys, but you guys have screwed me over, so I'm gonna screw you guys over now, and I'm going across the pond and see what happens with me. I mean, look at Tommaso Ciampa since he came over. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Tony Khan always with the new toy right away. Got to put a title on them and have them have fun, and then like 15 days later they lose it, and then they're back in the middle of the nothing.
I mean,
But Tommaso Ciampa has had a better career so far in AEW than he ever did in WWE when he came up.
when he's on the main roster, yes.
That's what I said. When he came
in
up.
the main roster, I would disagree.
Because NXT, he was phenomenal. He was honestly amazing. The heel turn, everything was perfectly done. But when he came up, it was like he was lost in the sauce.
Well, he was just a tag team for Gargano. And when he left, basically, Gargano turned into a vegetable where it's like.
But I want to say, though, I don't even think that, because when he came up, he was still like a heel who was still by himself. Then eventually they came back to DIY to revive that. And that flopped.
Well, when he came up, he didn't do anything. He came up sort of as a heel, but they didn't do much with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he eventually got buried. This guy was an NXT champ, for God's sakes. This guy was in talks to be the future of WWE. I don't know what happened exactly. And that is with Triple H eventually taking back over WWE. I could understand under Vince's reign that he didn't see Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. Obviously Adam Cole, we know the whole turning him to a manager gimmick. And you know what? Things happen for a reason. But the thing is, I just don't understand why these guys were considered the future. Another one, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
You know, these guys were considered the future of wrestling, and look what happened. They just were put on the side, tag team, comedy gimmick, or just jobbing out.
And I feel like that's right now with Bayley. And even though she was a Triple H girl for the longest time.
I don't know if she was the favorite. I could see more of other. So think about it. The original Four Horsemen. You had Mercedes. You had Charlotte,
Becky,
and her. I don't see her being the favorite. I see Charlotte Flair was number 100%.
One. Yeah.
Becky Lynch, because she built herself and had the fans backing her up. Mercedes was one that was up
and down and
up and down, up and down. She got tired of it, fed up. She left and made more money in AEW and does whatever she wants, basically. And look, you may hate her, but in the end of the day, she did good for herself, regardless. And in her own way, she became just as successful as the others, even more successful. You look at it with all the title reigns that she had in that long run. Then it goes Bayley. Just seems like always when she gets to her peak on top, it just goes back down a little bit.
I feel like it goes back down more than anything. Like if you think about it, everyone's peak from the Four Horsewomen, aside from Sasha Banks, because she was always in the title picture every 2 or 3 days or every 2 or 3 weeks. But Charlotte doesn't have doesn't have to do a huge bounce back like she always does. Becky doesn't have to do a bounce back. I mean, look, she was an Intercontinental Championship title for how long? Now she's going up against Liv Morgan. If you look at Bayley, Bayley goes to the top. When she gets to the top, she's there for a short little stint, and then she goes right back down, and she stays down. This is the longest we've seen Bayley stay down, though. Because if you think about it, she's been down before, but this is the longest we've seen her down. That's why it's like, man, what's been going on with her?
But not only that, but also it's like it's so much bad booking right now in creative.
So
what did Bayley do with Lyra before this? Like
it was a tag team.
Yeah, but what did they really do? They were tagged together. How many times have you seen them wrestle on Raw? A few times here and
once, maybe, but okay.
What was the storyline?
I can't remember.
Not much. What did we have Bayley? What was the opportunity Bayley could have come about? Was her being crazy?
Yeah, and she was doing fantastic with it. It just got dropped.
But it was only showed a few glimpses, nothing much. Once again, got dropped. Eventually tagged her with Lyra, which she did use a little bit of the crazy gimmick, but was dropped once again. They got some gold. They got successful, wins and all, but at the same time, they just didn't really do much with them. Eventually had a good idea to turn which was great. But again, the follow-ups sucks. Once again, creative is just bad in WWE.
It
They
is.
didn't do much with their, and not only that, but they're not doing much with Lyra right now, and they're not putting her in any type of feud. Not saying to put her in the title scene, but at the same time, follow it up. Have her feud with another superstar. But again, why did you have Bayley lose the way she did if Lyra was never going to follow up and just do a few promos, maybe some house shows, and that's about it?
This is why I see Bailey's frustration. You've been in the business for how long? You're considered that you were a Grand Slam champion from the women's side. I think the first ever women's champion, if I'm not mistaken, at least top 3 women's champion that was Grand Slam champion. Here is, I think, her frustration. Aside from constantly losing, aside from being put down, I feel like her frustration is you're putting all these women above me because in your eyes they're better than me. Fine, go ahead. But then where did some of these women go? You just said yourself, Lyra Valkyria, where is she at now? Tiffany Stratton had a little bit of a moment. She didn't beat Bayley though. But again, it's like the women who are not beating Bayley, they're getting more of the women who are actually beating a Grand Slam champion.
For now, though, I wouldn't really put those women high up because WWE has a high turnover rate.
And they
seems
do.
like.
I mean,
but
hell, look at this. Look at this year's WrestleMania. Tiffany, who was champion last year, wasn't in it. Io wasn't in it. And they were both champion last year.
But to hear it once again, don't you think it's over rostered right now? And not only that, but not only over rostered, but so many storylines are not really properly given.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also another thing. It's just that we have so much women roster, so much potential, but we're not given any good storylines with them. And not only that, but sometimes we don't even have the champions show up for weeks. Right?
True.
At this point, we have champions that are injured. And that is with Rhea and with Chelsea Green at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue going on. There's so much issues on creative, bad booking. Sometimes we have an overstacked women's roster. You can't give time to everybody. That is the truth too. And play a little bit of devil's advocate. I get it. You can't push everybody to the top. Sometimes you do have to be jobbers. But also, as a wrestler, if your contract's up and it's coming up, you could create your own destiny. A while back, 2 years ago, we did hear Bayley complain about basically always being told to be a good, soldier, to just nod her head and do as they told her.
Yeah. And
then things eventually will come to you.
I think
it has during that time, but also it fell off sometimes. And the one that really applauded her for that at the time was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's the highest praise you get. But if you look at Austin's career, he did not just sit back and nodded his head. He fought back. Yeah. He pushed some people out when he had to. Austin stepped over people. Austin pushed his way back to the main event, protected his stance for the longest time. Now, did he screw over some people? I'm 100% sure he did.
Yeah, 100%.
But in the end of the day, it got him to the point where he's at. It got him his own storyline.
Heck, another guy, your guy, John Cena.
John Cena's the same thing. There's so many wrestlers out there. But the point is that instead of nodding her head, sometimes you have to fight back and push yourself too creative and say, no, we're doing it this way. No, put me here, put me there. Now, if it doesn't happen, that is your cue to get the hell out and control your destiny. Now, one, you can still be in the company that you love and you may still love, and that's perfectly fine. And you could job out, or you could do, maybe one day you'll have your title run once again. But at the same time, if you're not happy with it, there's other opportunities.
So many more.
Yeah, so many more opportunities to this day. You can make more money on the indies than you ever did in wrestling. So much booking out there, opportunities, autograph sessions. The world doesn't end with one company anymore. And that is the great part of wrestling to this day. Quick comment for Wyatt.
All right, what's good, my dudes? How are you guys doing and feeling? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Appreciate it. I'm doing good. A little tired, but I'm still good. Can't complain. How about you?
You're asking me or what?
I'm asking Wyatt. No, now he's asking you.
Okay, now you're pointing at me. So Wyatt, doing good, my brother. Still debating if I'm gonna be at Friday stream tomorrow, but regardless, man, I'll still be tuning in. But regardless, I hope you're doing well tonight. Like guys, Wyatt, subscribe to him, man. We do good content together.
Mhm.
It's a great brother out there, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Also, congratulations on your 1,100, man. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Great achievement. Wish you
Great.
many more success, bro. Wish you much more success, honestly.
Yeah, so regardless, man, it's a lot of what ifs. My thing is this personally, I don't think she should stay. I
Mm-mm.
think she should leave, give an opportunity to the other side, and hope for the best. And I think, regardless, there's one thing I could guarantee you. Yes, storyline wise, might not be the greatest, and she might have some great fucking storylines. So let's put it this way. One of the most biggest match that people will want to see is her against Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history there, which I agree 100%. Those two could give out a great storyline in AEW plus a great matches,
Yeah.
hardcore matches, whatever you guys want to think about. Those two have it. But one storyline that I will love to see, and I feel like a lot of people don't see this, is Willow Nightingale.
That'll be a good one.
I think there's an opportunity for AEW to capitalize on this because it would basically, like, if you look at Willow Nightingale, she has a positive attitude. She's very friendly. She gets the crowd involved. She's on the rise. She's basically one of AEW's top women's wrestler. Really up high there. AEW has her, and I agree. I think she's one of the best wrestlers, and I think she should be put in a position for her to succeed more in the future. Her and Bailey will be a good feud to the fact that Bailey was once that person and was once like her character. Maybe not the same, but sort of the same in a way. And with that being said, it could basically be like Bailey would tell Nightingale, look, I was like you, a younger you a while back, but these fans eventually turned on me.
Yeah.
And I had to turn back. No more nice guy, no more this.
No more positivity, no more hugs.
If you want to learn something from a veteran, learn that these fans will turn on you. There's so much opportunity out there. It's ridiculous right now for Bailey to join. Another one, Tekla. Another rising wrestler in AEW, one that puts out really good matches and could cut a hell of a promo. I could see her and Bailey mixing it up and putting good stuff out there. Another one, whenever Tony Storms returns.
That'll be another good one.
That will be an interesting matches to come. Scatlander is another one. There's just so much opportunities there at G3. I think these are good matches to come. What would you name another one? Or
again, her Mercedes would be fantastic. I heard you would just put like a little swap. WWE gets Britt Baker, the AEW gets Bailey.
No offense, dude, but WWE's not going to sign Britt
No, they're
Baker.
not going to.
No, Britt Baker's too much of a reliability that I don't think any company wants her at all. She has too much of an attitude problem. It's been known backstage. I highly doubt they're going to want to take her. I don't think any company wants to take her.
Not even the indies.
Well, unless she cleans up her act, but we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of good opportunities out there.
But I definitely could see, for sure though, her and Nightingale, Bailey and Tony Storm that'd be a dream match. That'd be a very good dream match.
Statlander would be a good one.
Statlander would be another one. If she was still the Thunder Rosa would have been a good one.
Well, what if look, All In is coming up. And that's what we're talking about it. Surprise appearance. So we remember not a while back, not too long ago, Kairi Sane got released.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane never got the opportunity to finish her storyline with Asuka.
That's true.
Also basically finished the storyline with Io. Her contract expired and her 90-day complete clause came to an end not too long ago. She has mentioned that she felt a lot of sadness when WWE did let her go, and she wasn't sure why. Because her storyline at the time did not come to a full close, and she never got that opportunity
Top was
to
already
do
getting to the
so.
peak.
Yes. What if we see Kyrie Sane jump the ship and become all elite? We know that All In brings out some of the best surprises in the last couple of years.
It has.
Regardless, Tony Khan always brings the sauce to these pay-per-views and brings us a little bit of a surprise. But this is All In. This is their WrestleMania.
Literally. The next two, All In and All Out.
All Out. But All In, it's more of their top one now since
Mhm.
they're the bigger stadium. Regardless, that being said, can we see Kyrie Sane basically jump ship and interfere or show up afterwards in this match of Will Nightingale and Mercedes Moné?
I can see it happening.
Would like to see that? What do you think of Kyrie Sane? Do you think it's too late for her, or do you think she gives out her run in AEW will give out a better opportunity for her to win some gold possibility?
She's still young, man. I think that her and AEW will be a very, very good acquisition. It'll be a very good addition. It'll be just, I think it'd be better for her. And she wouldn't have to be in some silly little gimmicky storyline. That's the way I see it. Super random though. We have a comment from Wyatt. I'm a little tired, but I'm good at she's and Wendy. Yeah, if you can't be there tomorrow, don't worry. I appreciate you guys and thank you guys. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Much love, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, my man. Regardless, though, the opportunities for her too. There's a lot. Look, we're
And
gonna
dude,
get.
let's put it. Kyrie Sane does come out. Bailey coming in adds more fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Basically, at this point, two women that were done run by the company. Look, a lot of people like to burn AEW for being the rejects of WWE, bringing them in. I don't think these are the rejects, not even one bit.
But WWE is you could say the same thing about WWE. They're the rejects of AEW.
Yeah, it's vice versa. Look, in the end of the day, if a wrestler wants to try their luck in the other side of the company, who are we to say, you know what? You know, you guys are rejects, this and that. Any way you see it, I think these two will be good at it to AEW itself. So another interesting one I want to talk about is Cope and Christian versus the Young Bucks. These are basically Cope's last few days.
Yep.
Last few months, last few weeks in AEW.
And wrestling in general.
Wrestling in general. All In would be one of his biggest things he wanted to do for All In. And this opportunity to have it with his best friend Christian, which in character right now, they're not the best of friends, but they're still getting along pretty well.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring some tears in everybody's eyes, and I feel like it would bring some tears in Adam's eyes during that night, knowing that this is gonna be his last All In, his last big match of wrestling. He's not coming back to WWE.
Oh, he's not.
He's done. Maybe to the Hall of Fame, yes, but he's pretty much done. Or has he been in the Hall of Fame already?
No.
I don't know. Regardless, though, he is done with wrestling. I think once that music hits and the wrestling fans out there sing his theme song, I think he's going to get teared up. I think he's going to realize that this is going to be the last time that we're going to see Copeland in the big arena. Regardless of that being said, emotions are high for this one. As of now, who do you think has this winning this match between the Bucks and Cope and Christian?
I think Cope and Christian. I'm a Bucks guy though. I am a Bucks fan, but I think that Cope and Christian are gonna win it. And by the way, sorry, you know what? I just did some fact check. Adam Copeland is part of the WWE Hall of Fame in 2012.
Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense. I could see maybe when they induct him and Christian as a tag team, or just Christian eventually, which I don't know why they're waiting for too long. I get it right now. Right now, he's still wrestling. I'm actually disagreeing, man. I think the Young Bucks get their titles back, put Adam Cope and Christian back to potentially getting that one more title run. And I think their retirement match, they're going to go for the gold and win it. And then call it pretty much the end for both. Well, for really just Cope. I think Christian still has a few more years on to his wrestling and all this. I don't know how long Christian really is going to go for. Honestly, if he just went back to being a manager, I have no issue against
I don't
that.
have an issue with that one
Yeah, I
either.
think he does his best work when he's on the mic. And he doesn't say much. The guy's just very charismatic. Regardless, that's one of the emotional ones, man, because we've seen this guy grow up from the Attitude Era all the way till now. What a hell of a career. That's 28 years, I think.
Yeah, he did. And don't forget, he had a broken neck issue. Came back from it, was in the Royal Rumble, did what he had to do, really put on the show. So honestly, thank you, Adam Copeland. Thank you, Edge.
So once we get closer to All In, we'll do a prediction, an actual prediction, and see if there's more surprises. But one surprise, we're going to talk about one more thing before we log off of AEW and switch to WWE side, because there's a lot of talk about there.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the potential of the New Day, or maybe they'll change their name to the Day of New, or whatever they want to call themselves, possibly joining AEW and make a surprise appearance maybe in All In. That is going to be the biggest surprise of the weekend. And this is why, SG3, I wanted to add the last match between the Bucks and Christian and Cope, because if the Bucks win the title, I could see the New Day coming out, surprising everybody, and telling the Bucks we're coming after you guys. Because we already know these guys are good friends with each other. And we had a tease years ago when they were both gaming together at a tournament. And the fans were going wild for the potential one day seeing both these tag teams collab with each other in the ring. If these guys come out after the Bucks win the match, social media, it's going to turn up.
Yeah, it's going to go crazy.
Like, rightfully so. And I'm excited to see the possibilities. One of the reasons why we're saying this is because recently, SG3, you found out
they're going to be on the Jericho Cruise. They have been confirmed to be on the Jericho Cruise. Them being the New Day.
Yeah, so look, the thing is, Jericho Cruise doesn't mean potentially you're going to get signed up. There's a lot of wrestlers that join that cruise, by the way. A lot. And they're non-AEW wrestlers, but most of them are. The issue is there's a highly doubt that WWE will allow anybody from their side to join this cruise.
No, they won't.
So that being said, yes, this could just be a theory. This could be ended up being nothing at all. They might not even appear in AEW. But the fact that they're there kind of does help the theory that they might join and giving us a tease then that, hey, we're actually going to be at this cruise. So anything's possible now, guys.
Yeah.
That being said, what do you think of all this?
I think it's good. We're gonna finally see some New Day wrestle, because they really didn't wrestle the last year in WWE. If you think about it, even the last 6 months, they really didn't wrestle, just a lot of backstage gimmicks. So I feel like at this point, with them going to AEW, it's gonna really propel them. Them again, dream match we've been having, that we've been wanting, Young Bucks versus them. Heck, one last, I don't think it ever happened, but yeah, sorry, first and only time. Christian and Cope versus the New Day. There's still time to make it happen. Yeah. FTR versus the New Day.
Brodito.
Yeah. The one, Sister Club. What is there?
Oh, well, I don't really count them. I know what you're talking about. They're not really much of a team anymore. Max Caster fell off, and Anthony Bowen just kind of. There's a lot of tag teams. There's a lot.
The Don Callis family eventually could just form a tag team just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I don't know about them. They're also another one. I'm just kind of like, there's possibilities there. I get what you're saying though. There's possibility of. I mean, we have a lot of tag team in AEW. A lot of good tag teams.
And I feel the tag team division is done right there.
For the most part, it may not be the best, but it is entertaining. That I would say
it's better than WWE.
Yeah, it's way better. Well, WWE doesn't have a tag team division.
No, they don't.
No, which is sad to say, honestly, because there's also a lot of good tag teams, or a lot of tag teams to be built.
And don't forget the Motor City Machine Guns just joined AEW too.
That is a good signing. There's a lot of good signings right now. Man, there's a lot of good stuff going on right now in AEW. If they could sign the New Day, and the possibilities could be endless. My only issue, my only concern is Xavier's Wood health. He's never been the healthiest guy. That's the reason why he's never wrestled as much as he did with like Big E and Kofi Kingston. They've always been more of the wrestler, and that's why he's always been the guy in the sideline. But maybe he's all right. Maybe he's 100%, and maybe he's ready to go. Regardless, there's a lot of opportunities. I know recently Kofi Kingston did trademark a couple of different names, so I do not think he's going in as Kofi Kingston.
I don't think so either.
And I also think that Xavier Wood is not going as Xavier Wood, guy. He's going as Apollo Creed, which he had that gimmick in TNA before.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't think it's the New Day. I think it's going to be called something else. We'll have to wait and see what that is. But like I said, the possibilities are great, exciting. Social media will explode if these two guys appear. Right in the pay-per-view. Or do you think it might be too late for these two guys?
I don't think so, dude. I mean, wherever they go. I mean, look at Cope and Christian. How old are they? They're still wrestling? I don't think that's too old. I just feel like WWE now is to the point where, like, once you hit a certain age, you've done your part. We're now just going to use you for a whole bunch of backstage segments.
Yeah.
Which is sad to see.
If put it this way, if AEW does this right, so we already know they missed the ball with Danhausen.
Yeah.
Real bad. AEW had Danhausen. Might not have been a great contract that they signed him into, but they had him part of their whole roster. And regardless how long he's been there, I think he was there for like 3 years. And he was locked in a contract for the longest until we finally seen him in WWE. But they missed the ball in marketing him by a lot. Look at the merch that he's selling now. One of the top merch sellers.
Probably the top merch seller.
I think Cody's still number one somehow.
I don't know how, but okay.
I mean, Cody's still the favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to look at the kids. It's the same thing with Cena years ago when people were like, how the fuck is this guy selling merch? Kids buy merch, man. Kids have their favorite.
That's true.
Regardless, missed the ball with Danhausen. If you're going to have Kofi and Xavier Woods get a mic, do a gimmick, market the shit out of them. And do it right. Sell your merch. Push these guys every week. You don't have to have them wrestle, but push them on a mic, push them into a gimmick, sell them. They sell merchandise. That is AEW's biggest mistake. They don't sell enough merchandise.
Look
sometimes.
at when they came out with Bootios. Hell, I even bought a box of freaking Bootios.
Yeah, we know that.
So, I mean, you go ahead and make them sell anything.
Yeah, no, you're right. Not only that, but we already know Apollo Creed. I guess I'm gonna have to start getting used to Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed has a gaming channel.
It does up, up, down, down,
and it does very well. Market that too. These guys have markability everywhere they do. Everything they do right now. If you could do this right, you'll make a lot of money, AEW. A lot. And that is the issue, is that sometimes they don't do it right when the opportunities present themselves. And this is the biggest opportunities for them to make millions.
Heck, they were doing it at first. I mean, remember when Jericho came out with a little bit of the bubbly? I have one of those shirts.
Yeah, he did come out with a couple of good slogans, but I feel like somewhere it just died down. I think the last big merch seller, I want to be honest with you, I think it was CM Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after that, it just didn't seem like you see too many people with AEW merch anymore.
The the sickos, yes. But
I mean, with that niche audience,
yeah,
the sickos, yeah. But as big as it was back then when
No.
Punk was there, unfortunately, even before Punk, we were seeing guys with a couple of AEW merchandise here and there. Regardless, though, this is the opportunity for them to do great stuff with them, great numbers and all. Do you think they'll capitalize, or you think they'll drop the ball?
I hope to capitalize. Honestly, I really do hope they do.
But do you think they will, or you think they'll drop the ball?
I think they'll drop the ball.
Yeah, I put my money in dropping the ball, so hopefully
I want to be
proven right.
positive, but I want to be optimistic. But now they're gonna drop the ball.
Yeah, because SG3 definitely wants his round 2 of booty house.
Give me my Bootios, man, with my marshmallows and everything, man. Because they make sure you ain't booty. So
Imagine you tell people I eat booties.
Hey man, gotta eat the booties. Booties keep you healthy.
Booties the great balance of a well diet breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Yeah. Regardless, exciting. It really is. We got 2 more weeks before All In. Probably be watching that day live streaming, so we'll see then. Alrighty, let's get into the WWE side of things. We already know the biggest debut. I want to say the biggest, but I like to use that right now of at least this month. Because I don't think until we get to All In, which is the end of the month, this is the biggest so far of this month.
Literally.
And that is Zilla Fatu has finally appeared. A wild Samoan makes his appearance and gets captured by WWE.
I know.
We heard rumblings for a while back that Zilla was on his way to WWE. He did finally make his last couple of dates of HOG and lost the championship. And from there on, it was good to go for him to finally show up in WWE. Everybody speculated that he was going to be part of the bloodline. He was going to show up, this and that. But instead, he gave us a taste on NXT by interference from your boy Mike Santana, a.k.a. Cruz Montana, and Tony D'Angelo interfering their match. Oh, sorry, not Tony D'Angelo. Grayson Waller interfering their match to become the number one contender for Tony D'Angelo's title. He attacked both men, beat the crap out of them, and made a statement into that roster. He did get a great pop, by the way.
Huge pop.
Huge pop. But then again, anything sounds huge to a 2,000 number crowd.
I'll say 500, but okay.
Regardless, it was a great debut. This shocked everybody in the last couple of days.
Huge.
But we also have some backlash. And that's what I'm going to talk about, SG3. Before we get into the backlash, let me ask you something. Do you see this positive? Do you see any issues? Do you think he should have joined the main roster? How do you feel about his debut? The little that you know maybe about Zilla Fatu, how do you feel about this?
I like it. I'm going to go against the grain. I like it. Here's why. Because you could do the same thing you did with JC Mateo, and you see how that went. I feel like this way you allow Zilla to grow his fan base, grow his name, grow himself. Just because his last name is Fatu doesn't mean you have to stick him in the fucking bloodline the moment he joined. He just because he signed the contract. Yes, he has a following, but this way though, the marks of WWE actually know who he is. The people who watch nothing but WWE know who Zilla Fatu is and what he can do. Because the moment that you bring him on from HOG to WWE and just launch him into it's like, oh, okay, cool, congratulations, you did something. Like, I don't know who he is, but he's doing some pretty awesome things. And then you're gonna have Michael Cole in the background. Oh, the biggest signing of the summer, like no one, like a free agent, this and that. For what? Because you did the same thing with Cobbs, Jason Mateo, whatever you want to call him.
Just to add a little bit, but the only one that actually did strive on all that is our boy, the one that he's finally been tamed, and that is the baddest Samoan,
Jacob Fatu.
Yes, the lone wolf until now. Somehow, some way, this guy had so much charisma that he broke out from that bubble of not being known because nobody knew the hell who he was. But he made his name. He got himself out there. He populated. But the issue is not everybody's like Jacob Fatu.
That's right.
That's
what I'm thinking. Honestly, it's good that he's in NXT. It's good the fact that he is allowed to grow himself from there. For the WWE people who don't want to watch anything else, who only think that WWE is the only wrestling company out there, it's good for them to just say, okay, cool, I see him now. I know who he is. And it's okay. He's still young. He's not an old-timer. So he's not like, okay, dude, we only have like at most 2 years with you.
Right.
You have a good amount of time with him.
You do.
Let him build himself up. It's not bad. You did it with Solo. You can do it with him too.
Yeah, no, and I get you on that. So I agree with you. I preferably want him in NXT. uh, like I told the guys, like I told Wyatt Wrestling, and I also told JJ Toys when we do live stream. They thought he was going to appear in the main roster. I disagree. I said I do not think he's going to appear in the main roster. I don't think he's ready for the main roster role, and there's a number of reasons why. One, always he's always been at the Indies pretty much for the last couple of years, which is fine. The issue with the Indies, smaller rings, basically
A lot looser with
a-
rules.
Rob Luther rules. I've watched Silva 2 a couple of times in HOG when it has coming around at our other cities. The man does cuss a lot. So you can't have this guy on the main television basically cutting some crazy ass promos. His promos are also not, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not top notch yet. I think you tighten up a couple of things, teach him how to wrestle in a WWE ring because it's its own style compared to the Indies.
Mm-hmm.
I think NXT is somewhere he could benefit a lot. Because if not, potentially you name those people. I think with the way things are going, the popularity of the bloodline, whether it's good or bad, and we're going to talk about this right now in a little bit. But if you have him debut and he's not caught up in that style just yet, we have potentially another Jade Cargill situation.
Literally.
Where Jade Cargill has been doing a lot of bouches.
Still.
Promos are great. Looks is great. But could have benefited more had she had she had her run in NXT instead of pushing her in the main roster. I get it. She looks phenomenal. I don't disagree with that. Her promos, in my opinions, are good.
They're really good, honestly.
Yeah, she could cut a good promo. Her wrestling, I'm sorry, it's awful. And she would have benefited had she made her run in NXT instead of them getting excited of who they signed. And I get it, the reason why, because she was from the other company at the time. And I get that. But I'm glad they didn't make the mistake with Zillafod 2. They had him basically run his run right now in NXT in a great debut, by the way.
Fantastic debut. I mean, it really did get social media buzzing.
And a great debut and all, made his name out there, put his father's legacy in check, and that is Umaga himself, which I'm happy to say, man, that his son's, finally wrestling. To me, if I'm going to be honest, I think Umaga's one of the most underrated, underappreciated wrestlers in the last couple of years.
Honestly, he is.
Yeah,
That's 100% true.
because when he came out to the scene, he played that heel, and he played it perfect, yes. And he was a badass. And I think that doesn't get a lot of appreciation. I think maybe now that the bloodline is a little bit more popular, I think we see Umaga more as like, man, we had things good when he was around at the time. He did really fill in that heel role, that top heel role in the industry during that time. Regardless, it's nice to see. Now let's talk about some negatives. And that is this. It's a lot of fan backlash about, again, WWE gets excited, sees a Samoan, I have to sign them. I had to keep it going. And this is going to tie in with the current bloodline storylines that we're going to talk about right now. And we already seen Monday night. We saw that Jey Uso beat Solo Sikoa. And now Solo Sikoa is part of the bloodline once again. Wow. What great storyline. What great booking. Solo Sikoa did the best work that I've seen in years as a solo act.
Literally.
So the thing is this, him joining the bloodline, who the fuck wanted this? What fan was crying out loud, I wanted to join the bloodline once again? Because I'm going to be real. It wasn't me. I thought it was better for him to be who he was as a person.
Look at fucking the SummerSlam. He did fantastic in that match.
He did. And not only that, but his gimmick, his comedy act, it's all great.
The whole yeet thing he did, that was hilarious as hell.
Yeah. And now we have this whole thing where he's back in the bloodline. He's back in line. Now he's going to get lost in the shadows of Roman, Jay, and Jimmy.
And
just like
Jacob
did. I don't want to put Jacob up there. I think he's just going to get lost with Jacob at this point. What was the point of this? And this ties in with Fatu, Zilla Fatu's debut, because we know eventually, give him a year, WWE's going to want to accelerate this real quick, push them to the main roster, and they will. So that means this. There's a lot of fans backlash. Is one, we're getting more Samoans because they want to be part of the bloodline, which means a longer storyline for years to come with the bloodline. It's like we can't move past this storyline anymore. Are we hearing the rumblings of NWO reincarnations time after time after time? The thing that killed the very company of WCW, the thing that boosted it up, that gave them high ratings, also was the thing that killed them eventually and dragged the fans down. It's the same thing. The bloodline had its peak, but sometimes you got to let that thing go that puts you up here and create something new. I don't think Triple H understands that right now. And we saw that on Raw. And I'm not saying Zilla Fatu didn't deserve this signing, but it does put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth because we know, given a year, we're gonna see them. Give them till WrestleMania this year. The WrestleMania after Raw, we could see him there joining forces with Roman and them.
I really hope he doesn't. I really, really hope he doesn't. I hope, you know what? Eventually it's going to happen. Let's be honest. It's going to happen eventually. I would say, though, give it 2 years. Let it really soak in. Let him actually understand WWE life. Let him understand WWE rings. Let him understand WWE fans. Let him understand. It's not bad if you were to bring him up at Royal Rumbles, at, whatever, little thing here and there, war games, whatever. Fine. Bring him up, see how the fans react. Hell, somebody else who I think should have been in NXT. Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys. He would have done phenomenal right now in fucking NXT. But I think that WWE saw the big guy, was like, dude, here's our name. Change the name. No one's going to remember. No one's going to, worry about the name. No, you had to keep the name Powerhouse Hobbs so people can remember who he was and who he is. But again, going back to the point I was trying to make is, with Zilla Fatu, let him coast, let him cook, let him be ready.
Okay.
Don't take him out too soon just to push him into fucking Roman's faction again.
But
for what?
But the thing is, though, you're putting him to the main event. You're gonna tell him now. I get what you're saying, but the issue is this, bro. There's no way around this.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna happen. Let's be honest. It's gonna happen.
But that's the issue. Enough is enough, man. This whole bloodline shit is getting ridiculous. It's getting boring. It's getting stale. It's not enjoyable. You're trying to basically recapture that peak of wrestling where it was cool again to say you're a wrestling fan. When they were selling out arenas, when they had stadiums, when they had the best storyline, the best WrestleMania that we've seen in a while. We're not going to get that anymore. That storyline is done. We had our ending, our proper ending to that. We do not want to see Roman another 1,000 days. We're not going to get that, but we're going to get,
I hope to God we don't.
300, 400, 500, 600, maybe 2 years of him being champ, plus added all this storyline. Now we're basically having Solo joining. What bad creative shit has that been? Fatu is basically put into someone that was very appealing as a badass to someone that's just Roman lackey now. Does whatever he does, basically. And none of it is great, really. We have sometimes some good stuff, but it doesn't really outweigh the negatives. So that's the unfortunate part of this signing, is that even if they wanted to do something, you're always going to have them tied in with the bloodline now.
Honestly, here's the way I see it. Keep him the fuck away from the bloodline. Kill the bloodline now, because the bloodline is going to kill WWE. I
But-
feel like, you know what? If you guys really want to keep Roman as a fucking champion, then fine, do it. We have complained and complained. Just because we had the bloodline storyline didn't take away what we all saw. He wasn't defending the stupid title. That doesn't matter. We didn't care that, yeah, the bloodline was having a fantastic run. They were doing great. We still, as fans, were like, when's the title going to be defended? Oh, look, he finally defended it again 6 months fucking later, but he's now doing it again.
I mean, you talk about copy and paste. We're having them defended against LA Knight. Who do we think we have winning at this point?
LA
LA
got
Knight?
it now.
No. Honestly, it's ridiculous that we're at the creative part of the WWE, that we have to copy and paste everything because none of our storyline is working. We can't stick to a good storyline for more than a couple of weeks. We don't know nothing else besides bloodline. Bloodline this, bloodline that. You
Hell, fucking change the name of the company from WWE to the Bloodline.
to the bloodline show, to the
Literally.
bloodline saga reality show. It's sad. It really is. It's unfortunate that we're at this point of WWE now that we just don't know what else to do. Imagine the next season of Unreal. You're watching them all on the table and we're talking about, I don't know, Chelsea Green versus fucking Becky Lynch, and Triple H is like, that is great, but how do we get the bloodline in this? Honestly, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nia Jax. Maybe they'll get who else?
Naomi.
Naomi. Oh man, just sign up everybody for God fucking sakes.
Dude, Kevin Owens said it best when he was actually initially putting his frustration out on the original Bloodline storyline. And he said it best, and I'm like, yeah, that actually dude is right. No. He said, you guys don't understand. It's not just them four at this point, because it was Rome. It was before Solo. It was before Solo came in. It was Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and oh wait, no, yeah, sorry, it was them three only. He's like, no, dude, you guys don't understand. They currently have one right now in NXT being Solo. They have a couple more out there that you guys probably don't know about. The fucking tree is huge, and it's just gonna keep getting bigger.
Exactly.
This shit's not gonna end ever. I'm trying to stop it now before it gets bigger.
Exactly.
When he was going with this feud with Roman, and it's like now I'm seeing him like, dude, he had a point. I didn't know how deep until they actually like even showed the tree. They're like, yeah, this person related to this person related to this. I'm like, dude, that's a huge ass tree. Holy shit! And it's just like they're bringing them in more, and then eventually you're gonna see one more time Bloodline versus NFTs.
I'm gonna tell you this: Silifat 2 does have another brother,
I
and
know.
he's wrestling.
Yep.
So there's only a matter of time that we're gonna see the other Fatu join WWE and get a new signing. How exciting! I feel sad about the Tongans, actually. I feel like they got the lower end of it when they released the, what's his name? What do they call him? Tongaloa. And I do feel bad about JC Mateo. I feel like there was a lot of potential to lock there if he had a good run in NXT at that point. But everybody got excited for the free agent part, and they really bounced that. I feel bad for those two. I'm not saying they were great, but they could have used the Tongans as its own thing instead of putting them in the NFTs. Bloodline 3.0, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And then don't forget, you also now have Kalatonga.
A couple of little bit more things. Some positive news here. Well, let's start off with some bad news, actually. Johnny Gargano's father of, I think he's 68 years old, has basically said that he has had cancer. I forgot which one exactly, but is battling away. His father was a great influence for him becoming a wrestler, also a hard worker, that he never stopped working in their family restaurant until it got burned down, unfortunately. During that time, though, his father did set and organize for, a couple of days a wrestling event. at his restaurant just to have Johnny Gargano as a child basically get in the ropes and feel the ring presence, which helped him basically lead his way into wrestling years later. So, man, our thoughts are out there with the family of
Honestly.
Gargano. Hopefully, he'll overcome this, and hopefully, they'll have him for many years to come.
Honestly.
Another good news is Jim Ross. He has had successful brain surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for that, man. What
Honestly.
a legend. We can't have Jim Ross leave us. It'll be too soon, man. I can't see a life without him, man. I know he's been a little slower the last couple of years, but whenever we see JR on a commentary table, even if it is for one match, it still brings back to your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy to me is one of the best announcers that ever lived in wrestling. One of the best. I hopefully, man, I know he has a lot of health issues, but hopefully he could just overcome all these and just keep it going, man.
I'll tell you this, man. Honestly, if hell, we've been to multiple shows, and whenever we hear the Oklahoma Sooners theme song come out, we all just lose our mind and go
Mhm.
super fucking crazy because we know it's Jim Ross.
I know we do actually. Another one, quick one, a couple of quick ones. This one is for you, SG3, because I know you're a big fan of this show. But Natty Neidhart has expressed so much interest that she wants to bring back your favorite Total Divas.
Yes, yes.
Honest,
Yes.
she keeps putting it out there. She says she's fighting for it, guys. She says she keeps pushing to the higher ups that we have to bring this show back again during this current era of WWE. Not only her, but your favorites as well. The Bella Twins have also expressed interest on bringing it back. So we have Natty Neidhart and the Bella Twins all wanting to redo Total's Divas. And we all know they want to be the center of attention.
Just like they were the first time. Yes.
I know you were a big fan of this show, man. We used to have these discussions all the time.
All the time, dude. You didn't watch it? I mean, I remember that one episode. You know, it happened.
Yeah, but regardless, all set aside, let me just ask you a question. In this current era, all jokes aside, regardless what you think about this is more for like someone who likes the reality shows aspect of wrestling. It did do successful numbers. It wasn't a bad show necessarily. I never really watched too many. I like tuned in just randomly just to see what it was about. Sort of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. If you really like that reality, part of TV, which not a big fan, but I could see the interest. That being said, in the current day product, and take account of who's going to be in it, we already know Bella Twins, obviously a given. Can't stay away from the spotlight. Regardless, Natty Neidhart, one of the originals. Okay, and now we could add a few more. I think Naomi was also one of the originals, if I'm correct.
I think so.
Yeah. Now we had a few of them that left. Well, that being said, fill in the spots. Who do you think would be perfect for these roles? If you had to give out, let's say, 4 spots, I can name you a couple.
Please do, because I'm trying to remember. I'm like, who the hell were the original ones anyway? I just remember them 3.
Well, just let's just say a couple more spots to fill in. I could see one with a lot of, charisma backstage because she does a lot of those TikTok videos, and she's really good at it. And she shows like her humor side, and she's really hilarious backstage. Nia Jax.
Oh yeah,
yeah. With a lot of her weight loss too, by the way, it could make a great reality show on her journey and explanation how she went from a dramatic change of, body. Not saying she wasn't beautiful back then, because I think Nia Jax to me is one of the most underrated beauties of wrestling. She is beautiful from head to toe. Another one could be Tiffany Stratton. I could see her basically having a good.
I can see replacing that one chick, Rusev's wife or ex-wife, whatever the hell they are now. CJ Perry, Lana.
Well, that and it just I feel like there's a lot of interest in her.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of fans out there. A lot of people do like Tiffany Stratton. and we'll like to see the backstage roll over, and it could catch a lot of attention there
Oh,
too.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green will be a great addition, a great comedy addition, because I think she's hilarious and charismatic, and I think she will do wonders for that show. She'll have a lot of us tuning in just to see some Chelsea Green. Let's give out one more. Let's give out someone new. Fuck it. Let's see. Someone coming up. I could see either a Lash Legend. I could see a Lola Vice.
They both have
Or-
somebody in WWE anyway, and don't forget, well, Damon Priest on AAA.
Yeah, so I can see a Lola Vice, because sometimes they would try to get these divas. Well, we can't say divas. See, here's the issue. Total divas. We don't really use the word diva anymore. They would have to call it something else. Regardless, though, they try to get people that are dating wrestlers so they could bring them into the show. So I can see a Lola Vice. Who else? Tiffany Stratton does fit the norm, because I think maybe she isn't dating someone.
Lash Legend.
I think Lash Legend would be
She's
a good
married to Trick
addition.
Williams.
You're right. So that would be a good spot for her. And honestly, you have to change the title of the name because they want to run well to this day. But it could bring. I could see Natty having a good point, bringing in good numbers in this day age of era. That being said, will it ever happen? Who knows? We're at to wait and see. One more, and this is an opinion here. Eric Bischoff, in 83 weeks, has made a quote, and this quote is this. One, he thinks that Vince McMahon, and not in his words, but similar to his words, he thinks that Vince McMahon will one day return to WWE, but not in a producer role, not in creative, nothing backstage. With this lawsuit being dropped, there is a possibility in Bischoff's mind that he will make a couple of cameo roles, not being a part of a storyline, but just him having an appearance for a comedy act. You know, like we see him backstage, like, what the hell, pal? Like that type of stuff. Do you think there's a possibility we see Vince back on a WWE TV? Doesn't have to be a part of anything, but on a WWE TV. Yeah, even in the audience.
I could see it because again, Ari Emanuel and him are pretty good friends. So I could see that happening.
Okay.
I could honestly, yeah, that's one thing I could see it happening.
Do you like this idea, I guess? Do you think it's a great idea? Do you think the fans are going to, go crazy?
Some yes, some no. At this point, I know Nick and me probably going to be like, oh my goodness, he's back. But, or just do something funny, laugh about it, and then walk away. But honestly, though, it's good for nostalgia reasons, bad because it's like, don't you know what he did? And we know a lot of fans how they feel about Brock Lesnar after everything happened. Brock's resume in wrestling speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Vince can't do what Brock did.
Well, here's the thing, though, and I agree with you. Here's the issue, though. I do see the issue that you say, but look at Brock Lesnar. Despite of stuff that he did, somehow he still get one of the biggest pops in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vince returning, despite everything, will still get a great pop. Probably a bigger pop than Brock. Because there's one person that we don't ever expect on our TV screen. And that alone in wrestling, when we ever get that oh shit moment,
It'll be the day Vince comes back.
when Vince come back, and I don't think there's nobody else in the world that's gonna get that biggest pop, like, oh shit, he's actually back. Even though it may just be a cameo, they'll still have the fans going crazy. A lot of theories out there, social media buzzing, news outcasts maybe reporting on this.
That's true.
Could it's gonna be-
ESPN will highlight it for 3 weeks.
Probably. Regardless, we'll have a lot of people saying, like, is he back? Is he coming back? What's going on here? Do I think it's a great idea? I don't know. That's not up to me to say. There'll be a lot of backlash, but you cannot deny that he'll have a great pop when he does appear, the day he does back appear. Do you think it's ever going to happen?
I feel like it's going to happen. I was just about to say one thing, though. My brother, here's the thing. Any news is good news. when it comes to that kind of when it comes to that side of life. Here's why. They're talking about you, they're funneling in to your system and to your pocket. So if you're a company and you want to be talked about nonstop, you make the biggest move that no one thought you could do. Bring back Vince McMahon for one. Even one night. Believe me, you will be talked about, as you just said, news, ESPN, social medias, everywhere. They're going to just show Vince McMahon come back.
Imagine him coming back with do-rag Vince.
Can you imagine coming him back with the stupid mustache and the do-rag? Lord have mercy. We got a comment. Wendy, my brother, from Jose Martinez.
Hey, what's up, Jose? Hey, man, you tuning in late? Man, we've been waiting for you all night.
I know, Brian. We're about to log off, and here you are, barely showing up, man. Come on. I got to be late to the party, though. I get it.
Hey, better late than never, though. We do appreciate the comment. Appreciate you seeing you. I get that. I do. Honestly, man, I do think he will appear. Okay, so if this was a year ago, my money would be against it. Like, my money would be, I don't think he ever appear again. I think he's done with wrestling. Look, we hear the rumors. He's interested in returning.
Mm-hmm.
He possibly wanted to start a company. He has a lot of money.
Really does, regardless of whatever
he has billions of dollars. Even with the lawsuit, I'm sure he has a lot saved away. So here's the issue. Personally, do I ever think he's ever going to return back in creative?
No.
Back running a company at all?
No.
And here's the reason why. Age. The man is not young anymore.
No.
The man is about, I think, 80 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, he's in great shape. Don't get me wrong. He could still probably kick a lot of people's asses at his age because the man does work out religiously. But regardless how you feel about him, he is entertainment. He would create what we have today. It's the same thing like we talked about right now about Brock Lesnar. With all the accomplishments that Brock did and all the controversy, you cannot deny that the man accomplished a lot. The man may go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Vince McMahon itself, look, as a person, piece of shit. As the promoter, one of the best promoters that ever lived.
Yeah.
One of the best promoters ever. Went with only $1 million. Was never given anything, by the way.
Nope. He bought the company.
He bought the company. He had his money, not from his father, from himself. Brought it up, invested it, had other people invested it, bought it from his dad, and took that company to the next fucking level and brought wrestling to what it is today in entertainment. Without that, who knows how far wrestling could have even gotten? Who knows if we would even had a WCW?
Yeah.
Because without Vince, Ted Turner had no competition, so he would never created this version of WCW. It would have been something, but it wouldn't have been that.
AEW wouldn't be alive right now.
AEW wouldn't have been around. TNA would have been around and lasted so many years. AAA might have been out of business. Because without WWE, Triple H wouldn't have Strive and probably would have been bankrupt by now because things were going really bad for them.
CMLL
probably would have still Strive because it's still one of the best in Mexico. But like I said, all this.
But I'm saying it wouldn't have gotten like much
popularity. New Japan would have been popular, but not that popular. Wrestling as a whole would have still been territorial, and would have been on network TV. That's what Vince did. He brought it to the TV, to your own TV. Now, could wrestling eventually got in there? Maybe, and maybe not. That's the scary part of all this. A couple of comments.
Jose says, if we're in the subject of Vince McMahon coming back, honestly, if we can have Lesnar come back, I believe Vince can come back. And also, it's WWE. They're good at ignoring stuff. Also, it's Vince McMahon. A lot of supporters and haters, but any publicity is good publicity. Like I said, any news is good news.
Well, that being said, with WWE ignoring stuff, they know how to do that best.
They really freaking do.
Yeah, anytime they have been caught in a bad light, they know how to ignore it for the last couple of years. We see their lawsuit back in the day. They know how to just, open up a rug, sweep it underneath, and just leave it at that. Don't acknowledge it. Acknowledge only the tribal chief. And that's about it. Because in the end of the day, WWE knows how to do that best. Hide the controversy, but as well, any controversy is always a good controversy.
Controversy creates cash.
And that's what Bischoff knows best. That's why Bischoff put that comment out there. Because if anybody knows best on creating controversy, it's him.
It really is.
And honestly, dude, okay, so real quick, if Vince does come back, let's predict this in a year. We'll give it a year. I'll give it a year. Less than a year. I'll give it 6 months. I personally will give you 6 months that he will come back to wrestling. What about you?
I can say within about a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. Now let me ask you, when do you think he's going to appear? Why is he going to appear? Or just give me a scenario. This doesn't have to be, like true or just whatever dream scenario. There we go.
The Monday after WrestleMania.
Okay. In a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
And the reason why, it's the perfect moment. That's when Lesnar made a comeback. Why not shatter the biggest one with the ultimate biggest one?
And I could see that. I'll give you another one. I said in about 6 months or so, because
That's WrestleMania.
WrestleMania in Saudi. Saudi, brother.
Yeah.
If you want a great reaction without the negative, Saudi is your opportunity. Because who brought wrestling to the Saudis?
Vince Kennedy McMahon.
He is responsible for bringing WrestleMania into Saudi. Now, really, it is the Saudis that are responsible. But if it wasn't for Vince getting to deal with the Saudis, we would never have a Rumble. We would never have a WrestleMania.
Never have a crown jewel.
Yep. And I guarantee you, if the opportunity comes, they will bring him in Saudi Arabia because they know he won't get booed. He's not going to get a bad reaction out there. And he's going to get a lot of appreciation.
A lot of love.
And if this WrestleMania is supposed to be one of the biggest WrestleManias
in
history, which I really do want to see them pull that off because they'll be entertaining as hell. Let's just say this. Now that is the discussion. Is Brock really retired? Because even though we saw that package, a lot of people saying that there's rumblings that he may not be fully retired once again, that he may just make another one-off at Saudis to collect a big-ass check. And not only that, but we have the rumors, which I do not believe. Sorry, guys, but I do not believe this one, but I'm going to have to mention this because it is getting talked around. The Rock having one final match against the Tribal Chief at Mania. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
But if it did, why not end it with Vince coming out of any of those matches and just randomly showing up a cameo, which would give us all talking. And despite how bad that Mania is, all we're going to be talking about Vince returning to wrestling. Oh, is he coming back to creative? Is he coming back to buy the company back? This and that? I don't know. Another comment real quick.
I think we should have a storyline of it. Have Vince return and also say when he comes back, hey, Triple H, I want WWE back, and get an invasion angle, Team Vince, WWE versus Triple H, WWE, when it takes over.
I like that. I like that storyline. Personally, I do like it. I like invasion storylines when it's done right, not the WCW versus WWE invasion storyline.
At first, it was done right. At first.
Real quick, let's give 4 and 4. Triple H's guys. Who do you have? I'll give you one real quick. Seth Rollins. Triple H's guy.
Roman Reigns.
Triple H? I go with Vince. With Roman,
Yeah.
I'll go with Vince. All right, so we got 1 and 1. All right. On the other side, I'll give you for Triple H.
Obafemi.
Okay, Obafemi. For Vince, I will give you Gunther. Even though Triple H is more of a Triple H guy, Vince was very high on Gunther.
Yeah, he was.
So I'll give you Gunther on the other side. 2 more. So we got
CM Punk.
On Triple H?
Yeah.
Okay, at that point, I'll give you Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, because Vince did fly out personally to bring back Cody.
Yeah, so we got number 4. Ooh, okay. These are tough ones actually. I didn't think it was gonna be that tough. Let's see. What if Vince brought back Brock Lesnar?
So there goes Brock. There's your 4th, but
And then Triple H has to counter that with bringing back, or not bringing back. Let's say he brings in Braun Breaker.
there's your 4th.
That's a 4. That's a 4-4. A good 4-on-4 if it was done right. I don't think it ever will be done right.
No.
This would have been a good idea too if Cena was still around.
Yeah,
Cena would have been basically
the Vince guy.
the Vince guy. He's always is, and he still is to this day. I think these are great opportunities if it's done right creatively. I think Vince will lose. I think Triple H will retain. WWE's right. And at that point, it would make a great send off to Vince McMahon for whatever he did to the company, to the industry, and everything great in wrestling. Yeah, good comment on that one. I don't know, man. We'll wait and see. We'll be back Sunday, guys. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, we'll be back Sunday for another round of wrestling talks. Please join us then. Please hit the like, subscribe, share, comments for the next one as well. Appreciate it a lot.
A little
We'll see you.
notification